So here's the question that stops more people from changing their career than anything else. And that is, can I really become a mortgage broker if I have zero experience? You're sat there convinced everyone in this industry has already come from banking, they've come from finance, or maybe even a state agency. You're sure there's some sort of hidden requirement that nobody is telling you about. Some closed door, some club you're not part of. So let me answer it dead straight right now before we go any further. Yes, you can become a mortgage broker with zero experience. Thousands of people do it every single year. Some of the best brokers I have ever met came from fitting kitchens, cutting hair, teaching kids, driving vans, and serving coffee. You see, experience is not the barrier. The barrier is something else entirely, something quieter and far more dangerous. And almost nobody actually is going to talk about it. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it is, and you won't be able to unsee it once you do. See, I'm going to walk you through every single route into mortgage brokering from a standing start, whether you're studying CMAP first or getting hired first, the admin side door, how estate agents and bankers make that jump, whether your age or background counts against you, and how firms actually train someone who walks in knowing absolutely nothing. But here is what I really want you to take from this. The thing standing between you and this career was never your lack of experience. I'll show you what it actually is as we go. And by the end of this video, it'll be so obvious, like I said. So let's start by killing the myth properly, because it's costing people years of their lives. The myth is that mortgage brokering is a closed industry that you need to kind of break into, that you need connections or a finance degree or years of banking behind you. Now, none of that, by the way, is true. Mortgage brokering is one of the most open, beginner-friendly, professional careers in the entire UK economy. No degree requirement, no experience requirement, one qualification. That qualification is CMAP, and anyone can study it. Now, the reason it feels so closed is because nobody explains the routes in. So let's fix that. There are two ways a complete beginner gets into this career, and you need to understand them both before you pick yours. Route one is study CMAP first, then get hired. This is the route that most beginners take, and for good reason. You study CMAP in your own time, around your current job, 4 to 6 months at a sensible pace, evenings, after the kids are down, weekends here and there, and you pass. And suddenly you're not somebody who is fancying a career change, you're actually a qualified candidate walking into interviews holding the exact thing that firms are looking for. The advantage here is huge, it's obvious. When you walk in already holding CMAP, you have removed the firm's biggest risk. They don't have to pay for your training. They don't have to wait for you to pass or gamble on whether or not you're going to get through the exams in the first place. You have de-risked yourself. You've proven commitment by funding and passing it on your own, and firms, they love this. The downside of this is that you pay for your CMAP yourself, and you study with no brokering income yet. For most people, that's a few £100 and a few months of evenings. That's a genuinely small price for a career change that lasts the rest of your life. Now, route two is you get hired first. You study CMAP on the job. I actually did this myself. Now, some firms, they hire complete beginners with no qualifications. Then they put them through CMAP while they work, often paying for it. It sounds like a dream. You get paid to qualify. And for some people it is, but there is an honest catch to this. You see, the roles are far more competitive because everyone wants to be paid to train. The firm is taking a bigger gamble on you, so they're pickier. And you often start in a junior role or an admin role first, earning less, while you prove your worth of training investment. You see, both routes work. But my honest opinion, if you could possibly afford to study CMAP first, do it. It opens way more doors, it gets you taken more seriously, and it proves to every single firm you talk to that you are serious about this. People who sit around waiting to be hired before they qualify, they tend to wait a very long time. And notice that's the first quiet appearance of a real barrier, the people who wait. Hold that thought. Now let's talk about the admin side door. Now here's the route that a lot of people don't know exists, and it's perfect for someone who feels nervous about jumping straight into advising. You get a job as an administrator or a case manager inside a brokerage. No qualification needed for this role at all. You deal with lenders, the solicitors, support the advisor, and while you're doing it, you study CMAP on the side, and you'll learn the business from the inside before you ever actually advise a single client. Now, by the time you qualify, you already understand how cases flow, what lenders want, how the systems work, what good advising actually sounds like, because you've watched it all at the next desk. for an entire year. And this is genuinely one of the best ways in for someone who is overwhelmed by the idea of advising straight away. You learn the job before you do the job. Loads of brilliant advisors started exactly here. Never look down on an admin role, please don't. It is a side door into this entire industry. Now, here's a bit that I want you to really hear, because a lot of you are sat there disqualifying yourself before you've even started this thing. So let me go through the usual suspects with this, because almost none of you are actually starting from zero, like I said. Estate agents, you've got a significant unfair advantage and you should use it. You already understand property. You know what a chain is. You know what a survey is. You know how completions work. You talk to buyers and sellers all day long. You already know how to have a sales conversation. The jump from estate agency to broker is one of the most common moves in the whole property world. I did it, okay? And it's usually because, and this is what mine was, you watch the broker in your office earn the same money for working fewer Saturdays, or even more money actually. So you're not a beginner, you're just a switcher with a head start. Now bankers, it's exactly the same story. You understand financial products, you understand regulation and compliance. You've had hundreds of money conversations with customers. CMAP will feel familiar. Most bankers jump for freedom, okay? Sick of being told what to sell, sick of pushing one bank's products, sick of the corporate ladder. That transition is smooth and the ramp up is fast. Graduates, here is the honest truth that might actually surprise you. A degree gives you almost no advantage in this career. There's no graduate premium, no fast track. What a degree proves is that you can study and stick at it, which I guess it helps a little bit in interviews. But a 21-year-old graduate and a 21-year-old who skipped uni start in nearly exactly the same place. If you've got a degree, you didn't waste it. If you haven't, you're not behind, okay? This is one of the few well-played professional careers where it genuinely doesn't matter. And everybody else, the kitchen fitters, the hairdressers, the teachers, the carers, the baristas, the van drivers, all of those people, the skills that make a great broker are human skills, and you've been building them your whole working life. Whatever you've been doing, you're not disqualified at all. You almost certainly never were disqualified. So can you start this career later in life? And this one really matters, okay? This is probably one of the most common questions I get, and a lot of people, they're quietly counting themselves out of this completely over this one specific question. So let me be very clear about this. Yes, you can start a mortgage brokering career in your 40s, your 50s, even later. And here's the thing nobody's going to tell you about this. Starting later is often an advantage, not a disadvantage. Think about who clients actually trust with the biggest financial decisions of their entire life. A fresh-faced 22-year-old or someone who's owned a home, raised a family, been through a few financial ups and downs themselves, and looks like they've lived a bit. Life experience builds real trust. Maturity reads as competence. Clients open up way faster to somebody who feels like they understand real life. The career switches in their 40s and 50s that I've worked with, they often outperform the youngsters significantly, precisely because the client just trusts them quicker. Plus, you've got decades of transferable skills. Managing people, handling pressure, having hard conversations, getting things done. You're not too old at all. You actually might be exactly the right age. Don't let that stop you. Please don't. So let me name then the thing you're actually scared of, because it's not really the qualification. The thing keeping you up at night is probably, what if I get the job, sit down in front of a real client and a real mortgage and a real family and have absolutely no idea what I'm doing? Good. Let me kill that fear right now. When you join a firm as a new advisor, you don't get thrown into the wolves, not at all. There's a structured period of supervision called competent advisor status, known as CAS. And for the first 3 to 6 months, a senior advisor checks and signs off your cases before they go anywhere. You're never actually going to be advising clients alone or unsupervised until the firm is genuinely satisfied that you know what you're doing. You'll sit next to experienced advisors, you'll listen to their calls, you'll shadow real cases, you'll be corrected, you'll be coached, you'll be developed. The good firms, anyway, they'll take it very seriously because your competence is their liability. So no, you won't be making it up as you go along, not at all. You'll be carefully built up from being a qualified beginner to a confident advisor over the first several months. And the whole system is designed for exactly the person that you are right now. So if experience isn't the barrier, what actually helps? Here are things that genuinely transfer from any background. Talking to people. If you can hold a warm, natural chat with a stranger and make them comfortable, you've got the single most important raw material. This is most of the job. Listening is another one. Properly listening, not waiting to talk, okay? The best brokers ask good questions and they actually hear the answers. Discipline is another one, especially self-discipline. And if you're going self-employed, nobody's going to be standing over you. The people who win manage their own diary and they follow up without being told. Handling rejections is another. Clients go quiet, cases fall through, people say no, take it on the chin and just keep going, okay? You'll outlast most of them. Notice what's not on the list there, like I said, a finance degree, years of experience, a posh CV, CV. None of that is on the list. The skills that make a great broker are human skills, and you've already been building them, hopefully your whole life, with whatever it is that you've been doing. I told you at the start of this video, the real thing standing in your way isn't experience. So here it is. It's hesitation, waiting to feel ready. Let me be blunt with you for a second, because you deserve honesty way more than you deserve comfort. If you've watched 3 of these videos this week and you still haven't booked a single CMAP module, the problem was never your experience. We both know that. Let's stop pretending it is. The people who don't make it into this career aren't the ones without experience. They're the ones who keep researching, keep watching, keep telling themselves they'll start when things calm down. That moment, by the way, is never going to come. They're still in the same job 2 years later, still watching videos like this one, still wondering what might have been. The people who make it, though, they accept that they feel unready and they start anyway. They book the module, they apply for the admin role, they send the email to the local brokerage, they act before they feel ready, because they've worked out that confidence comes after action, not before it. Experience isn't the thing standing between you and this career. Hesitation is. That's the real answer to the question this whole video is built around. So can you become a mortgage broker with zero experience? Yes, you can. The skills that matter are the human skills you already have, and the only people who don't make it are the ones who keep waiting to feel ready. You're not behind, okay? You're not too old, and you're not underqualified. You're just one decision away from starting. So if zero experience isn't the barrier, and genuine it isn't, then only one real question is left, and that is the qualification. What is CMAP? How do the exams actually work? How long does it take? So I've done a complete breakdown of CMAP and how it works on this video on screen right now. Give it a click.